What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Talk. Today, let's get started with Mike Perry has stepped forward to defend Alex Pereira after recent sparring footage showing the UFC champion knocking out a training partner sparked significant backlash online. The clip circulated widely, with many fans criticizing Pereira for going too hard in the gym. However, Perry, who trains at the same facility where the incident occurred, offered important context while speaking on his Overdogs podcast, emphasizing that the viral footage may not accurately represent what truly happened. According to Perry, the environment around Pereira during sparring sessions is always intense, simply because of who he is. He explained that many fighters enter those rounds with heightened emotions, either intimidated by Pereira's presence or overly eager to prove themselves. This often leads to unusually competitive exchanges, which Pereira is forced to navigate regularly. Despite this, Perry described Pereira as a humble warrior who puts genuine effort into helping others grow, even when sparring. Perry added that he was in the gym the same day the controversial knockout happened, though he chose not to spar with Pereira at the time due to recovering from back pain. From what he witnessed and heard from others, Perry believes the clip does not tell the full story. He said Pereira appeared to be working responsibly, focusing on body shots and technical pressure rather than headhunting or trying to overpower anyone. He suggested that Pereira's training partner may have been tired during the session, making him more vulnerable to the punch that eventually dropped him. Importantly, Perry also questioned whether there may have been some level of exaggeration or performative reaction involved. He mentioned that he had heard mixed opinions from those who watched the full session, not just the edited clip. He openly wondered whether the sparring partner or even the gym itself might have amplified the moment to attract attention, noting that social media, clout, and click-driven content are common in the fight world. Ultimately, Perry emphasized that sparring is unpredictable, especially when the person across from you is Alex Pereira. He reaffirmed that Pereira's character and intentions should not be judged solely based on a short video clip lacking context. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out, and ensures you'll never miss an update. Moving on to another news, Tom Aspinall recently addressed his frustration with UFC President Dana White's post-fight comments following UFC 321, comments that many fans interpreted as a subtle shot at the interim heavyweight champion. In a YouTube video, Aspinall didn't dive too deeply into the drama but made it clear that he disagreed with White's suggestion that he didn't want to continue fighting. The statement stirred discussions across the MMA community, with some wondering whether Dana's words were meant to question Aspinall's heart or decision-making. Shortly after Aspinall expressed his displeasure, former two-division UFC champion Henry Cejudo offered him some advice during an interview with Shock MMA. Drawing from his own experiences navigating conflicts with Dana White, Cejudo suggested that Aspinall should avoid engaging in a public dispute with the UFC boss. He emphasized that taking Dana's comments personally would only create unnecessary tension. Cejudo explained that one of the most important lessons he learned during his career was understanding the difference between being a fighter and being a promoter. Dana White's job, he said, is to promote fights, generate buzz, and sometimes stir controversy to keep the sport in the spotlight. Cejudo noted that Dana has never stepped inside the cage as a fighter, which means his perspective is fundamentally different from the athletes he manages. Because of this, fighters shouldn't take his emotional or blunt remarks to heart. Reflecting on his own career, Cejudo mentioned times when he competed with serious injuries, fighting through a torn labrum and a sprained ankle, yet still felt overlooked or misunderstood by Dana. But he came to realize that disputing the UFC president publicly rarely benefits the athletes. According to Cejudo, Dana speaks freely, sometimes harshly, but that authenticity is also part of what makes him an effective promoter. His message to Aspinall was simple: don't fight with your boss, especially if you're under contract. Accept that Dana will say what he feels, stay focused on performing, and avoid letting promotional comments affect your mindset. Cejudo even admitted he appreciates Dana's unapologetic attitude, calling it a natural part of the fight business and the promotional world that surrounds it. Moving on to another news, Islam Makhachev has officially returned to full training camp mode, and footage from a recent video shared on his social media platforms shows the lightweight champion looking sharper than ever as he prepares for his upcoming welterweight title defense. The video highlights Makhachev in a series of intense grappling and sparring exchanges, where he appears to be effortlessly controlling, pressuring, and submitting multiple training partners. His trademark dominance on the mats is on full display, reminding fans why he is considered one of the most well-rounded and dangerous dangerous fighters in the UFC today. What stands out in the footage is Makhachev's fluidity and precision. Whether transitioning between positions, setting up submissions, or applying relentless top pressure, he demonstrates a level of composure that only comes from years of elite training under the famed Dagestani system. Even though the sessions appear to be high-paced, Makhachev remains calm and calculated, dictating the rhythm of each exchange while allowing his partners enough space to push him competitively, before inevitably taking control. As he gears up for his first title defense at 170 pounds, this training footage sends a strong message to the rest of the division. Makhachev has spent the past year focused on elevating his game, adapting his strength and conditioning to a heavier weight class, and refining the aspects of his skill set that already define him as a champion. In interviews, he has mentioned wanting to compete more frequently and chase greatness across multiple divisions, and his training appears to reflect that ambition. The video also gives fans a glimpse into the atmosphere of his gym. The team dynamic seems intense yet respectful, with partners pushing each other while maintaining the disciplined environment that Dagestani fighters are known for. Despite the physical demands of camp, Makhachev appears refreshed and motivated, signaling that this new chapter at welterweight is something he fully embraces. In short, the footage showcases a champion who is not only in peak form but also evolving. Makhachev's dominance on the mats suggests he is preparing to make a powerful statement in his next title defense, and the welterweight division should be paying close attention. Moving on to another news, a significant legal development has emerged involving former UFC 2 division champion Conor McGregor. A civil lawsuit filed against him in 2023, centered on allegations of sexual assault, has now been officially dropped. According to newly released court documents, the woman, identified only as Jane Doe, voluntarily dismissed her claims with prejudice. This legal designation is important, as it means the case is permanently closed and cannot be refiled at any future time. The court accepted the filing, and by Wednesday the matter was formally concluded. The lawsuit had accused McGregor of assaulting a woman inside a bathroom during a Miami Heat game at the NBA Finals. The allegations prompted a police investigation at the time, but authorities ultimately did not bring any criminal charges against McGregor. Throughout the entire process, McGregor consistently and firmly denied any wrongdoing. The civil suit, however, continued for nearly a year before this dismissal. McGregor's attorney, Barbara Lane, publicly addressed the outcome, stating that the accuser had changed legal representation multiple times and that, in the defense's view, the allegations lacked merit. Lane emphasized that McGregor maintained his innocence from the start and viewed the dismissal as a long overdue resolution. While the case is now closed, the dismissal with prejudice marks a definitive legal endpoint for McGregor, who has remained one of the sport's most polarizing and heavily scrutinized public figures. The outcome removes a major cloud that has lingered around his name for nearly a year. It also highlights how high-profile athletes often become entangled in extended legal battles, even in situations where no criminal charges are filed. The situation also sparked broader discussions within the combat sports community about the legal challenges public figures face, how allegations impact reputations, and the complexities of navigating both legal proceedings and the court of public opinion. With this lawsuit now officially dismissed, McGregor appears focused on returning to competition and moving forward, while the MMA world turns its attention to what his next steps inside the cage might be. Moving on to another news, Ilia Topuria made headlines during UFC 323 weekend after showing up to support Merab Dvalishvili ahead of his highly anticipated rematch against Petr Yan. While visiting the arena and spending time with the Georgian team, Topuria also appeared on a Georgian YouTube channel for a brief interview. As expected, the conversation quickly turned toward the recently announced matchup between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje, an announcement that instantly stirred excitement throughout the MMA world. When Gaethje's name came up, Topuria did not hold back in the slightest. Known for his brash confidence and unfiltered opinions, El Matador delivered a surprisingly harsh critique of Gaethje's skill set. He dismissed Gaethje's grappling credentials entirely, claiming that the former interim champion struggles on the ground and has a tendency to wilt when pressured in grappling exchanges. Topuria emphasized that from his perspective, Gaethje poses no serious submission or wrestling threat and suggested that the highlight mentally checks out when taken out of his comfort zone. This criticism came as a shock to many fans, particularly because Gaethje has always spoken respectfully of Topuria. Gaethje has praised Topuria's punching power and his ability to blend striking with calculated pressure, compliments that made the aggressive response feel unexpected. Still, for longtime followers of Topuria, this type of unapologetic trash talk is part of his established persona. He's known for expressing blunt opinions about nearly everyone, regardless of whether they compliment him or not. Topuria went even further when discussing Gaethje's past performances. Reflecting on Gaethje's bout with Khabib Nurmagomedov, Topuria claimed he was cage-side and believed Gaethje looked nervous before the fight even began. He argued that Gaethje lacked confidence in his grappling exchanges and suggested the submission loss revealed deeper weaknesses. According to Topuria, he wouldn't even award Gaethje a beginner's rank in jiu-jitsu based on what he observed that night. Despite the heated words, a potential Topuria vs Gaethje clash would be pure chaos, an explosive matchup fans would love to see. For now, Gaethje must first get past Paddy Pimblett, while Topuria is expected to line up against the winner later in the spring, with top contender Arman Tsarukyan also watching the developments closely. Moving on to another news, Islam Makhachev has spoken out following the events of UFC Qatar, and he had high praise for top lightweight contender Arman Tsarukyan. According to Makhachev, Tsarukyan delivered exactly the type of performance a true number one contender should produce. He admitted he fully expected Arman to win his fight against Dan Hooker, but he did not anticipate the level of dominance Tsarukyan displayed. Islam emphasized that Arman didn't just get a victory, he made a powerful statement that left no doubt he deserves a title shot. Makhachev also reflected on his own career decisions, revealing that he regrets not moving up to welterweight much earlier. For years, he forced his body through brutal weight cuts even after becoming a champion, believing it was necessary to remain at lightweight. But after making his debut at 170 pounds, he realized he was not physically smaller than his opponent. He felt strong, comfortable, and matched in size, leading him to acknowledge that he could have transitioned to welterweight long ago instead of continuing to drain himself. While Islam's rise at welterweight is capturing headlines worldwide, another contender has quietly injected himself into the conversation. Shavkat Rakhmonov openly questioned how impressive Islam's win over Jack Della Maddalena really was, hinting that the performance may have been more about JDM's struggles than Makhachev's brilliance. Rakhmonov, one of the most feared unbeaten fighters on the roster, suggested that he wants to test Islam himself to determine whether the hype is justified. A clash between the two would be massive, especially in the Russian and Central Asian regions where both fighters already command enormous fanbases. Rakhmonov stated that while he respects Islam's performance, he wants to see firsthand whether it was a case of JDM having an off night or Islam reaching a new level. He believes his own all-around skill set could present serious problems for the champion in every area of the fight. Meanwhile, a surprising development may be shaking up the lightweight division. Top welterweight contender Sean Brady has revealed he is seriously considering a move down to 155 pounds. He believes the cut is possible and feels the matchups at lightweight are far more appealing. Coming off a knockout loss to rising star Michael Morales, Brady appears eager for a fresh start, and his arrival could make the already stacked lightweight division even more unpredictable. The only question now is, who should welcome Brady to his new weight class? Moving on to another news, as the highly anticipated rematch between Merab Dvalishvili and Petr Yan approaches, the MMA world is buzzing with debate. Despite Merab's dominant performance in their first encounter, a fight many considered one of the most one-sided showings of his career, a surprising amount of fans still believe Yan has a real chance to turn things around this time. With Merab stepping into the cage for his fourth title fight this year, the stakes feel higher than ever. On their recent show, Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo offered a detailed and honest breakdown of what makes this rematch so intriguing. Both acknowledged the obvious danger. Yan possesses exceptional boxing fundamentals, precise counters, and legitimate knockout power capable of turning the fight around with a single clean shot. If he lands perfectly, the momentum could shift instantly. But when the two analysts dug deeper into the stylistic matchup, they found themselves leaning heavily toward the champion. Merab's relentless pressure, suffocating pace, and bottomless gas tank create a style few fighters can survive for 25 minutes. Usman and Cejudo emphasized that Yan may win early exchanges, but keeping Merab Merab off him for an entire fight remains an almost impossible task. By the end of their discussion, both former champions confidently sided with Merab to retain his title. Sean O'Malley then added his own technical perspective, this time without the usual humorous or flashy, Suga style. Instead, he gave a serious, detailed breakdown of the only realistic way Yan could pull off the upset. According to O'Malley, the danger lies in Merab's growing confidence in his striking. He noted that Merab nearly knocked out Corey Sandhagen and has been throwing combinations more freely in recent fights. While that evolution is impressive, it also opens the door to Yan's specialty, sharp counters delivered from the pocket with speed and precision. O'Malley warned that if Merab keeps his chin too high or stays in boxing range too long, Yan could capitalize with one of his trademark countershots. Still, O'Malley believes Merab's fight IQ and discipline will ultimately guide him to a smart game plan centered around wrestling pressure rather than extended striking exchanges. His conclusion mirrored that of Usman and Cejudo. Yan's path to victory exists, but Merab remains the far smarter and safer pick, unless he falls in love with his striking and gets caught. Moving on to another news, the UFC's heavyweight division remains stuck in limbo, even after Jon Jones officially announced his retirement. Fans expected the picture to finally clear up and the division to push forward, but instead, uncertainty continues to dominate the landscape. The recent IPO controversy only added fuel to the fire, prompting Tom Aspinall to speak out publicly. Aspinall did not hold back, firing harsh responses toward critics, including Dana White, calling them losers and crazy haters who have nothing positive going on in their lives. Despite all the noise, no new date or rescheduled matchup has been confirmed for his next fight, leaving the entire division in an uneasy standstill. While the top of the division is stalled, Joe Rogan has already turned the spotlight toward the next potential superstar, Gable Steveson. The Olympic gold medalist has been generating major buzz after showcasing some incredible knockouts in recent appearances. Rogan is adamant that the UFC should move quickly to sign him, describing Steveson as a once-in-a-generation athlete who could transform the heavyweight class. Steveson's hype isn't just media-driven. He has been training with former heavyweight champion Jon Jones, who has openly expressed support for bringing him into the UFC. With world-class wrestling credentials, explosive knockout power, and freakish athletic ability at over 250 pounds, Steveson possesses all the traits needed to become a major threat the moment he debuts. His rare combination of speed, agility, and raw strength has many believing he could rise through the ranks faster than any heavyweight prospect in recent memory. Rogan's enthusiasm for Steveson was on full display during a recent discussion. He described the heavyweight division as devoid of talent, and labeled Steveson as the guy, the athlete the UFC desperately needs. Rogan even revealed that he personally texted Dana White a video of Steveson's latest knockout, emphasizing how dangerous and unique he is. In that clip, Steveson dropped his opponent with a single left hand, took him down even as he was falling unconscious, and finished the sequence with shocking ease. After securing the knockout, he effortlessly leapt over the top rope, further showcasing his ridiculous explosiveness. The heavyweight division may be stagnant for now, but with talents like Gable Steveson emerging, the future could become very exciting very soon.